All right, good afternoon, everyone, or good morning, depending on where you're calling in from. We're going to get going in about 30 seconds to a minute. I guess I didn't get the memo to wear the white shirts. Should have. I'll go change while I have some time. You can tell when there's a real golfer when they're wearing white, right? Because it gets hot outside.
You have to be really good at golf to wear white pants, though. That's something that's an unwritten rule of golf.
True.
Firm rule.
All right, well, why don't we get started? Before we sort of start with the agenda, I wanted to introduce myself. My name is Kevin Morris. I'll be hosting today's GolfLync Investor Webinar. And before we get going with the official program, I wanted to share a bit of a teaser about GolfLync to get us excited. And if you can't hear the audio, just click and it'll share the sound.
How you doing, Preston? Nice to meet you. Preston, nice to meet you. Pleasure to see you again. Preston, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Should be a fun day.
It's gonna be so much fun.
This is golf.
I love GolfLync.
All right. Again, welcome everyone to our first GolfLync Investor Webinar. My name is Kevin Morris, and I'm excited to be here with the executive team from GolfLync. Before I start and make introductions, I want to remind everybody that we're going to be doing introductions. We're going to be having a bit of a presentation, and then we'll be answering questions. So at the bottom right of your screen, there's a button that says questions. Please go ahead and ask questions throughout the event. At the end of the presentation, we will be actually asking those questions to the team. So you can ask those throughout the entire event. It's the button at the bottom right of your screen. So to start, I'd like to introduce the team of GolfLync. Initially, I'm going to start with our VP of Strategy, Evelina Chiang. Evelina, thanks for joining us. We'd love to hear a bit of your background.
Sure thing. Hey everyone, my name is Evelina Chiang, and the team and I are actually super excited to share some of the exciting news that we have planned in the pipeline in the near future of GolfLync. But before we get started, a little background on me. So I spent the last 10 years in big tech and telecommunications, was the head of business development for AT&T Solution Provider Channel, and in 2020 was recruited by DoorDash Incorporated to launch their platform in Kyoto, Japan. After we took the company public, I realized that my passion is truly in the startup space. And so with my experience in data, technology, and marketing, I am super ecstatic to be on this incredible journey with GolfLync.
Great. Thanks, Evelina. Next, we have GolfLync's co-founder, COO, and president, Michael Quiel. Michael, thanks for coming today. We'd love to hear a bit more about your background and journey.
Thank you for that introduction, Kevin. I appreciate it. I'm very proud to be part of SportLink and what we've created and what we're starting, and the ability to have this platform to get users to become investors and vice versa. It's a really unique opportunity. My background is actually in corporate finance for 35 years. I ran my own company, Legend Advisor, since 2000. Been involved in taking 25 companies public, raised about $200 million for these companies. All these companies were in all kinds of sectors. One was a food distributor out of Mexico, or that worked to bring food across the border in Mexico, raised them about $100 million. Another one was a green energy company, about $200 million for them. And then another Italian software company that actually caught the Madrid bombers that we raised about $40 million for. I'm usually an investor in most of these. In this case, I'm management, because I do believe in what we're doing and willing to put it on the line. I think it's going to be fantastic. There was one point I wanted to make that that I think everybody needs to know is that our friends and family put up $3.5 million. So that round was pretty large in the normal capacity. So anyway, thank you, Kevin.
Thanks, Michael. Last but certainly not least, the CEO and co-founder of GolfLync, Noah DiPasquale. Noah, thanks for joining us here today. I'm excited to hear about the story of GolfLync, but also what we have in store for today's presentation.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Kevin. Very happy to be here as well. And thank all of you for joining us today. Very excited to share what we have in store, what we've done, and what the future of GolfLync looks like. A little bit about my background for those of you that do not know me. I started, predominantly the vast majority of my career was in the consulting space, really specialized in go-to-market strategy and sales process for Fortune 50 technology organizations. Ran a mid-tier firm for about a dozen years. In 2016, I started my entrepreneurial journey and started my own boutique consulting firm. I was able to successfully exit that a few years later, which gave me the opportunity to start another company called Epic Golf Club, which I know some of the folks that are here today are familiar with. And for those of you that are not, Epic is almost the other side of the coin, if you will, of what GolfLync is doing. Epic is a very exclusive golf society that focuses on private club memberships. For some, it can be cost prohibitive, but it's a very targeted and again, very elite offering. And that's what really brought me to GolfLync. I view golf as an extremely inclusive sport. And I know that for many, the private club world can feel unattainable or too exclusive. And so we wanted to create something that really was a country club by the people, for the people. It's the opportunity for people to get a similar sense of community and a way to meet new friends and new playing partners. That's available to the other, roughly 40 million golfers in the U.S. that don't have the country club experience. And so we're really excited about what we've built. It's been a long journey to get where we are, and we know that we still have quite a bit ahead of us, and that's why we're here today. So Mike mentioned our friends and family kind of round A raise. We have now started what would be effectively raise 2, which is via crowdfunding. And, we're excited to share what that's going to be for you guys. But something that we're even more excited about potentially is that while we had worked tirelessly over the course of the last few weeks to come up with probably would end up being a super boring slideshow, although there'd be some good guts in it. We were recently featured in a television show that is coming out here imminently. It is titled "Go Fund Yourself." A little play on the FU part, but very clever, and we think it's going to get picked up by a national network. What's great about this is it works kind of like Shark Tank, but instead of the 3 sharks offering up their money, they are actually opening this up to their millions of viewers to give really people from all walks of life the ability to invest in what we're doing. And we really feel that's a perfect complement to what we're doing, again, because this is a country club for the people, by the people, right? So we want our members to be investors and our investors to be members. So the crowdfunding strategy was perfectly aligned with what we're doing. And so while this TV show will air in approximately a month, we are proud to give you a sneak preview of what that's going to look like today. So we're going to hit that in a second. And then after that, we'll follow up again, as Kevin mentioned, with questions that you may have, and also share some other insights about what's coming up down the pike for GolfLync. So without further ado, let's see, go fund yourself.
Welcome to Go Fund Yourself, the show where you get the unique opportunity to invest alongside seasoned investors in the hottest new companies and watch visionary entrepreneurs showcase their businesses. Our Titans, a panel of battle-tested, high-powered CEOs, probe and pose the tough questions investors want answered and share their own insights into these compelling investment opportunities. And the best part, the show is interactive so you can invest as you watch. Now, let's meet our Titans. David Meltzer, from CEO of Sports Super Agent Lee Steinberg to successful founder and CEO of Sports One Marketing, David Meltzer is an accomplished author, investor, philanthropist, and business coach, and one of the most sought-after inspirational and motivational speakers at the world's biggest business, sports, technology, and motivational events. Jason Waller. He's a well-respected thought leader in solar, home services, and digital lead gen. CEO of multiple multi-million-dollar companies, a successful author, motivational speaker, and host of the popular Jason Waller Unleashed podcast, who brings his own brand of BAM to business problem solving. Rory Kitaya, from successful New York City attorney to telecom disruptor, investor, and serial entrepreneur who sold his first startup for more than $200 million. He's currently founder and CEO of NASDAQ-listed Verb Technology Company and Market.live, a tech startup disrupting the live stream shopping sector. Please welcome guest titan, Michael Chandler, world-renowned UFC fighter, lightweight champion and entrepreneur, devoted husband and father of two. Get ready to go fund yourself.
Golf has seen an explosion over the course of the last 3 or 4 years, but it has almost always been a game that is really for the select few. And I think this is an opportunity to bring it to everybody that loves golf, to make it a much more inclusive sport. Golf, again, is a very social game. You could be playing the best course in the world, but if you're playing it with 3 people that you don't like, it's a miserable experience. GolfLync is going to be a virtual country club for the people. So it's an opportunity to have the wonderful sense of community that a private golf club would allow, but without all the barriers to entry.
Now, let's meet Noah DiPasquale of GolfLync.
Hey, what's up, Titans? My name is Noah DiPasquale, CEO and co-founder of GolfLync, and I'm here today because golf sucks. Okay, not really. Golf is absolutely awesome, but it can be a really rough day if you end up getting paired with somebody that you don't really match with on the golf course and wasting 4 or 5 hours of your time. So today, we're here to introduce GolfLync, which we believe will revolutionize the way that you find new playing partners across the country and across the globe. Today, I also brought with me 2 of my business partners.
Michael Quiel, COO, President, and Co-founder.
Evelina Chiang, VP of Strategy.
So explain exactly how your business works, because you said golf sucks, then you said it doesn't, you have this idea. Explain to the viewers out here and us here, understanding what exactly your software, your business membership is.
Absolutely. And so, when I explain it, I jokingly refer to it that if Facebook and Tinder had a baby that loved golf, it would be GolfLync. So what it allows you to do is find playing partners in your local area or anywhere that you're traveling that care about the same things that you do. Whether that be you want to listen to music, you like to smoke cigars on the golf course, or maybe you're allergic to smoke, you want to play skins games, you want to play in a couples league. It allows you to find all of those people and expand your network and really grow the game of golf.
I haven't seen many memberships for the masses. How do you specifically think that you're going to build a membership of millions that's going to facilitate what I think is the value of having so many choices, from what tees do you play with,
sure,
what color hair you have may be an issue, who knows, or what kind of golf clothes you want to wear?
The easiest way to start is that we've already replicated this on a smaller level. I recently started a business called Epic Golf Club, which pairs people all across the globe that belong to private clubs. And so the origin for the GolfLync story is that we wanted to be able to connect the other 38 million golfers in the U.S.
Now, I know about Epic. A lot of people know about Epic. It's great.
super expensive to be a member. How is that different than GolfLync?
GolfLync really is a virtual country club for every golfer in the world that doesn't want to belong to a private club. You can join for free at any time. One of the ways that we'll end up monetizing this for our investors will be to offer a premium subscription service, which we'll get into a little bit later.
So you're basically bringing the Epic model to the everyman that just loves golf. Maybe they can't afford a $30,000, $40,000 annual membership, but they love golf and they want to get out there and they want to play with people that they have fun with.
And this is where I come in. I'm probably the newest golfer of all of us. And everybody, for the everyday man, golf costs money, especially if you hit the ball like me and you lose a bunch of balls. Tees, clothes, obviously dues, all of those things.
Are you losing your clothes or just the tees?
I have lost clothes, but I mainly lose the balls.
Before the episode is over, he's going to lose clothes. That's what I'm told by the producers.
I may lose my legs.
I've been to the public courses, got stuck with 3 people or 2 people or just one person, which was the most painful thing I've ever done in my entire life because we did not play the same type of golf. I'm horrible. He was an older man who told me I broke about 15 different rules when I was first starting, right? So I would have not gotten paired up with him on GolfLync.
Correct.
That's right.
I hope.
And so we've all had those horror stories, and I think because golf is expensive, this might be even the most important part of it.
People watching the show, and me included and the folks here, you mentioned you don't have revenue yet. And they're going to want to know why they need to invest. Like, I'm wondering, I like golf. I do like the idea of, I just moved to Florida, and Florida's got 74 golf courses just in the little city I'm in. It's crazy. But I don't know many people there, and if I say, hey, I want to go golfing, it'd be cool to connect with someone that's maybe new so I don't deal with what Michael dealt with where he's, going crazy and getting upset and flexing on the course. I don't want to do any of that. But
no fist fights, at least.
No fist fights. It's no fist fights on the course.
Flexing's fine.
Flexing's okay, but he can't fist fight. But when do you feel like you're going to start having some profit? I think that's important.
I want to jump in and answer this for you, okay? Because I live in this world. And his strategy, I believe, is absolutely the perfect strategy. Okay. Get growth, get as many members on as possible because that enhances the overall value proposition of the entire app and the business. Get as many on as possible. Don't have any roadblocks to people joining, such as membership fees, etc. Then once you have that critical mass of users on there, then you begin to introduce the fees. Now that's probably a year off, I'm going to bet, right? And that's normal, and that's what should be expected. And so I think they're dead on with the right strategy.
So you feel like everything should be free, the free membership
in the beginning,
first.
Just in the beginning,
those
build
clients.
that critical mass. I think they're doing it right.
I would tell the viewers, I'm going to tell the viewers this seems like a great business model, seems like a great opportunity. Now, instead of investing in crypto, you can invest in this great idea to change the game of golf and other sports. And that's what really is going to get you guys going, is getting people that are sitting at home, the everyday Joes, that's what's great about this show, to give an opportunity to have a part of that business and the success that you guys are going through.
The players and the users all become equity owners.
That's the biggest point from the success of crowdfunding beyond being able to do it on a show like this. But the origin of crowdfunding is specifically to build a community that is invested in you and participates in the community, whether it's a freemium member or a paid member. Totally. And at the origin of all crowdfunding, that's why this is a natural fit for people to take an equity position and a membership. So that's why I love this deal for me, is I love being a part of saying, hey, I'm a founding investor of this company, and I'm securing my equity position because I'm a user and I'm inviting all my friends to join me.
Exactly. So for those of you watching, there's a link if you're interested in making an investment in this, and I think that all 4 of us are probably in. So you have that opportunity. For those of you watching, click that. It'll take you to a destination to make your investment and get the appropriate disclosures and regulatory information. And then there's another link on the page. You can click or tap whatever you're watching on to get a membership. And so you're offering, did you say 20% discount on memberships for people who click on that?
That's right. So it's
while you're watching it? Awesome.
It's currently an interest list. The premium membership will roll out at some point early in 2025, but we'll be able to offer that 20% discount to the folks that click on this link today.
Going in and doing due diligence about you as an entrepreneur and the successes that you've had in golf and in technology gives me the confidence to know that I have the right jockey on this revolutionary horse, because it's really been a long journey for you and more of an evolution, and the skills, the knowledge, and the desires that you've had in this industry, I think it provide a great opportunity for people to do more due diligence.
I'm humbled by the opportunity to be on here. I'm humbled for all the blessings that we've been given and the opportunity to create this. And we want to do right by not only our members and our users, but our shareholders. My reputation is on the line in everything that I do, and I'm staking my reputation on this.
But forget your business reputation for a second. What do you actually shoot on the golf course?
I want to know what everybody's handicap is. Tell him to go F himself.
Are you over 100?
No.
Are you over 100?
Okay. No,
Because that's where I'm at.
I'm generally under 100. I started golfing 11 years ago, so I'll have my 11-year golf anniversary in October, which I celebrate every year because I'm so thankful that I've been given this game. I thought it was ridiculous 12 years ago. I started the year as a 5 index. I created a contest on my Instagram profile that I was going to get to scratch by the end of this year, and I'm unhappy to report that I immediately went to a 9 as soon as I threw that on my
Wait, there's one rule of golf, though. If somebody asks your handicap, the first question to ask is, are we betting or bragging?
That's right.
I carry 2 handicaps.
That's what I need to start doing.
That's great. Well, guys, I'll tell you, you were invited to come on to go fund yourself, and GolfLync, Noah and your team, you hit it out of the park. Fantastic. Great job.
Good job.
I think you hit it out of the rain.
That's right.
I love it. Green.
Thank you all for having us. This was awesome.
Hey guys, you just came off the set of Go Fund Yourself. What do you think?
I loved the experience. It was awesome.
They're super tough, super smart, gave very good feedback.
It was such an incredible experience. The Titans were awesome. They asked us so many inquisitive questions, and our creative juices are flowing, and I think this is a really great start. With that being said, I definitely think that this was a catalyst to our crowdfunding campaign.
What'd you think, Dave?
Well, it's an easy one for me because I've been in the sports industry so long. It's a participatory sport, and golf was never considered that.
Yeah.
Things like GolfLync now make it a social community that's participatory, and it's not necessarily competitive.
You're starting to realize, well, I can go have fun, and then I can get paired up with people who want to have a cigar or want to listen to music or want to have a little bit of a drink.
Exactly.
Or, hey, today I want to take a couple strokes off in the next couple weeks. I want to play with some serious guys. Where are my serious guys in my community?
You know, many times we talk to entrepreneurs who have a great idea and they're pitching investors and they're saying, well, this is what we're going to do, and this is what we're going to do after that, and this is what we're going to do after that. Do you have a prototype? No, we don't have a prototype yet. We're working on the prototype. Well, this guy's got it built.
Yeah,
it's done. He's got that epic business behind him where he understands the model. He's already got the background, the experience, and the app works. It's the Tinder for golf. I love that.
Yeah.
That really resonates, right? That's the kind of marketing messaging that you need.
The prospect of me being able to pay a just playing fee that one day to be able to go play at a private course with a couple of friends or with someone I got paired up with and not have to pay the $60,000, $100,000 dues for the year.
And it beats farmers.com. So, it is better than that.
Yeah, I think they're on their way. What was the number he said? 250,000 users was kind of that where he wanted to get to. I think
that's when they flipped the switch.
I think they're going to hit that.
Yeah,
fast.
Yeah, I thought it was great. Great.
So obviously we're very proud of that. I think for me, there's a couple really key takeaways, not only from that experience, but just from where we are as an organization. They mentioned that they invited us. Again, I've said humbled numerous times on that show, and I still remain the same way. The way that show is going to operate is that there'll be thousands of businesses that are going to apply to get on it. And they sought us out, and part of that is the success that we've had in other areas. It's feels great, and more than just the feeling part, but they've truly validated the business model that we have in place. I think we've validated that there's a need for this in the marketplace. We haven't even really scratched the surface in terms of marketing, which is kind of coming up here eminently in full force. But we already have 150,000 downloads. We have roughly 70,000 active users. I mean, there is a community already built, and we haven't even done anything yet. I mean, we're literally at the tip of the iceberg, and there's so much more to come. And that's why we're very proud to have this conversation today. the next steps, the next evolution of what we're doing will be to continue to grow the platform. And we have a couple other things that we'll kind of share as we go through this. But we're right there, and we're hopeful and excited to have you along on this journey with us as equity owners of GolfLync.
Great. Well, thank you, Noah, and thanks for sharing that sneak preview. That's first set of eyes to see that I think in the public. So that was really neat. So as a reminder, if you are listening and you want to ask any questions for the team, there's a questions button at the bottom right of your screen. So feel free to throw anything in there, and we'll get to them. Let's see here. First question is, can you talk us a bit more about your business model and how you plan to generate revenue over time?
Yeah, so the Titans alluded to it. It's important for us to get a critical mass of users up front, and we're quickly approaching that number. It started off as arbitrary, and I think we could probably lower that down a little bit. But in our head, we would like to have 250,000 active users on the platform to continue proving out what we're doing. And, once we turn on marketing, I feel like that will be a very easy leap to have happen. But there will always be a free version available to everyone. The free version will have much of the functionality that the paid versions will have. And so if you're not familiar again with what we're really trying to do, the crux of what GolfLync does is allow you to pick your playing preferences when you're looking for partners in golf. And so if you like to play with people that, play music and that like to have a couple cocktails, but you don't like smoking, you can set all of that in your profile. And then in your geographic area, GolfLync will start to recommend players based on those preferences for you to connect with, and then give you the ability to go actually book a tee time. And so, the free version will give you availability to see a certain number of matches. There will then be an opportunity then to upgrade to our next tier, which is essentially the first paid tier of the membership. And that will, turn off advertising for you. And so, I should say, in parallel with this revenue model, we will also be offering a revenue model through paid advertising, much like a Meta and a lot of the other social media companies do today. But if you want to turn off those ads, you can then pay a monthly subscription fee. And then the highest level fee will be our gold tier, and it will give you some access to really special golf courses around the country, some special events, and just things that, generally speaking, most people won't necessarily have the ability to access. So the way that our model works today, and we're going to talk about this as we grow, but we think that there's a realistic pathway to get 50 million users on the app. And if we just took some rough numbers from other social media companies and the way that they value their users on an annual basis, they value them anywhere between $100 and $500 per user. So, you can do the math on your end, but at 50 million users and just $100 a user, we have an extremely, extremely profitable and valuable organization.
Gotcha. Talking about features a little bit, are there some other features that you guys have talked about and sort of shelved in the short term, pie in the sky ones that you want to offer later, or, any crazy ideas that you sort of said, oh, let's, this is more for fun. Like, I'd love to hear more about the brainstorming and the roadmap for additional features.
Yeah, I think all three of us could add parts to this, but I'll say the best part of this conversation is those conversations. We have a very imaginative group. When we get together, it is easy to get off topic a little bit, but it's off topic for the right reasons. It's because our creative juices are running wild. I think the sky is the limit for this. I think the next iteration is that, and this is already in the works, is that you'll see us migrate from the GolfLync brand to very soon it will become SportLync. And then under SportLync, you'll have the ability to capture all of the different social sports. And so now, we went from a universe of, potentially 40 million golfers in the US that we think would be a good fit, to now there's, nearly 700 million social sports activists across the country, or across the globe. And that would include things like pickleball, which will likely be the very first additional sport that we add. But there'll be things like hiking and volleyball, even bowling, really everything where you're not trying to beat each other's brains out, whether it be MMA or football, the things that you get together and maybe have a cocktail with, or you get to hang out afterwards, that will be included in it. And so you'll see SportLync as the next evolution. And I think, again, not only does that just really exponentially increase our total addressable market, it allows us to be much more fun and much more flexible in the way that we go about marketing it and attaining and attracting new members and new customers and new equity owners.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. You're building a base tech stack for golf, but it's so easy to leverage that and expand to different sports. So there's obviously a cost savings there, but also to your point, your total addressable market is going to grow. And there's probably plenty of people, I don't know the numbers, but plenty of crossover between someone who plays golf and tennis or golf and pickleball. So that's exciting. I'm excited to hear more about those updates in the coming months. So there was one question from about an email with outline of investment options. So just sort of a summary of that. Right now, you can invest on invest.golflync.com for as little as $500. The question here was more about different tiers. So based on how much you invest, there are various perks available, both from the equity side and non-equity side. We'll be happy to send out a summary of those perks again to the email list, and also webinar attendees after the webinar is over. The other thing I'll reiterate is that if you do invest by September 12th, so next Thursday, you are eligible to receive 20% bonus shares on your investment. So a nice thing, if you get in early to this round, your effective valuation for your investment will go down. Let's see. Next question. Can you integrate a tee time at local courses into the platform?
Yeah, so that's something that's currently in the works. Today, it does not happen, but that will be out in one of the very next iterations of what we're doing. And so you will actually have the ability to not only acquire the tee time and secure the tee time online through the platform, you can then fill it. So, maybe you already have a group of 3 friends that you want to play with, or maybe you want to turn it into a Saturday skins game. You'll have the flexibility to do all of that right within the app and then recruit players to come join you. And again, these would be players that are based on all the things that you care about. So if you're looking for, a couples outing, you can include that. If you're looking for just a low handicap or a high handicap, or people that just want to go out and have fun and practice, all of that is at your fingertips, and you would have the ability to book all of that right in the app as well.
Gotcha. Great. Next question is, how many daily, and you sort of touched upon this, but how many daily and or monthly active users do you have today? And related to that, what's been sort of your cost per customer acquisition so far?
Yeah, so I'll start with the cost per customer acquisition, and that varies. Our target when we began this journey for year 1 would be to get it to $2 per customer. Right now, we have multiple different channels that are operating. Our most successful is organic, so that is a free cost per acquisition through some of our marketing strategies that you'll see on other social media platforms, and it's really been successful. We have some that are as high as $10. The goal for us is to continue to lower that cost per user or cost per new member. And part of this is interesting. Activity begets activity, success begets success. The more users that we have on the platform, the lower that cost is, because now there's more utility to the platform. And so we are very convinced that, and we could see this from the beginning, the first person that downloaded GolfLync probably looked around and said, what the heck is this? There's nobody here. At 100 users is a little bit more fun, but then we saw huge increases in user adoption as we grew from 10,000 to 50,000 to 100,000 and more. And so that the user adoption, the stickiness of those users continues to increase. They start to tell more friends. That's how we'll get more of those organic. So, for us, if we can ultimately get it down, let's call it in year 2 to $1 a user plus organic, we are perfectly set up for success. And again, there's a lot of numbers that will vary in terms of the daily users. And it's the same principle of what we just said, right? The first, call it 100 people that downloaded it, they didn't see anybody on there. So there's a high probability that they weren't going to return, right? So we need those first early adopters to get involved. And so the numbers have ratcheted. I think if we look at it now, we're at roughly 70,000 monthly users. We don't necessarily anticipate that this is going to be an every single day application. You do have the ability to scroll through things like you can on Instagram or Facebook, but and while that's a nice to have, I don't think that's the core functionality. I think this is, on Wednesday afternoon, you jump on and you check out the players that are in your area that meet your requests, and then you invite them to play golf, and then you'll check back in again. So what's great about it, again, is that it allows people to use it the way that they want to. This isn't necessarily something that your 8-year-old's going to be stuck on scrolling all day long and melting their brain. It really is a way to take social, which is great. This is where our community and this is where our world is today, but then translate it into the real world. So you're essentially vetting people on the social piece of the app and then seeing them in the real part. And so, the daily users and the active users will go up as they start to play pickleball or as they start to engage in golf rounds or hiking or whatever the activity might be.
Gotcha. Talking about the user growth, and you gave the example, of course, when you had your first 100 users, there wasn't a lot of activity going on, and that's to be expected. And as you grow, the more new users you bring on, the more activity, and sort of it's like a snowball effect. What are some of the other challenges that you guys have faced so far, sort of getting to where you are now? Because the fact that you've had that many downloads, had that many active users is quite impressive, but it wasn't like it happened overnight. What was that? What has that journey been like?
Yeah, I think, this is kind of, if there is dirty laundry of what we've done, this is it, is that, the tech development we're creating what we believe is a new category, right? It's kind of like dating, it's kind of like social media, but there's just a huge real world application to it. And so, for those and I know that there's some early investors that came in the friends and family round that are on this now, for those of you that have gotten to see it since the beginning, the app looks night and day from what it was. And so we have a huge development effort going on. If I made a mistake in this, and I can own it, is that I didn't realize exactly how hard it would be to get something that was truly refined. I knew it was going to be challenging, but I didn't have a full understanding of how challenging it was going to be to have an end product that people truly love. And, you're also trying to do the best for the most people, right? Nothing is ever going to be perfect. And you're talking about some real functionality in this. And so we meet constantly, and we have dozens of testers and people going through all these things to find out like little bottlenecks, little glitches that might be in the app, and then really what is the most common use case that somebody's going to use it for. Do you want to book a tee time first and then find 3 people to go play with, or do you want to find 3 people to go play with and book the tee time? So there's been a lot of kind of the chicken egg scenario, and I think we've learned a lot. We've cut our teeth on it, and this is, in full disclosure, as much as we replicated with the Epic model, this true social media app was not in my wheelhouse, and we've chose to keep our, in the beginning stages, we chose to keep our costs down and not bring in necessarily big hired guns to make all this work. And I think we've learned a ton from that, and I'm very happy we went that way. It probably extended our horizon, 6 to 8 months in terms of where we want to be. But I think in the long run, it's going to pay huge dividends. And now we're perfectly positioned because we actually truly know what we're doing to then bring in and evaluate some of that high price talent and continue growing with all the right resources and make sure this is successful.
Gotcha. That's great. Next question is, what do you guys view as your secret sauce? What's your really, differentiating factor?
That's a great question. I think nobody else is doing it. So that's the biggest differentiator. I think, we picked a hot market. Sports tourism kind of fits right into this. And this is what people want today, right? They want to expand their networks. They want to do things on their own time, their own schedule, without wasting tons and tons of money to do it. And so I think we struck a real need. Pickleball as a for example, there's literally millions of pickleball players just in the US alone, but it's very hard for them. If you're a working professional and, say you're 35 to 55 years old and you don't live in a pickleball community, how do you find people to go pickleball with that are based on the same ages? You don't want to get paired with somebody that's 30 years older than you. You don't want to get paired with somebody that's 30 years younger than you. If you're brand new to the game, you don't want to play with an expert, and golf is similar, right? So it's, how do you find those people? So I think we're addressing a real challenge or a real problem that people in this world are facing. And again, when you can accomplish that for effectively free as a user, it's a no-brainer. It's just going to continue to grow.
Excellent. Well, we're almost at time here. Before I sort of close things out, actually, no, there's another question. Perfect. We'll fit one more in. What's the planned raise and general use of funds for this current fundraise?
Mike, you want to handle that? I'm not sure you can hear me. So in that case,
the
I don't know
majority
if you can hear
of
me,
the
but
funds is going to be allocated towards development. So
problems.
tech development is going to be #1 priority. In addition to that, marketing goes hand in hand, right? So as we beef up the tech stack and enter the additional social sports, a big part of what we're going to do is going to be blasting the masses and informing them that we've entered all of these additional social sports. And like Noah previously said, sport tourism and the social scene of the growing need to find players and to find courts and to bring people together, we really hope to delegate the funds for, again, development and marketing.
Excellent. Great. Well, before I close things out, any final thoughts from the team?
I think just to answer one more piece of the question that I know that we touched on, our target for this crowdfunding initiative is $1.2 million. And so we hope to get there with the people that are here and the people that have already joined us. And we know that, when Go Fund Yourself launches, I think that will be very successful as well. So we have a lot of irons in the fire there. We continue to run this organization very efficiently. There is not exorbitant costs. There's, we're not doing the travel and all the stuff. I personally have yet to take a penny out of the project as well, because I'm so committed to its success. And so we're doing, I think, all the things right and all the things on a very tight budget, so to speak. But we're also not skimping on the value, on the what will be the utility of the app and the product itself. And then we will certainly not skimp on the marketing as well. We really believe this will be a household name and truly redefine another space, which will be social sports.
Excellent. Well, thank you, everyone. Evelina, Michael, and Noah. I really appreciate you taking the time. To Noah's point, this round is $1.2 million capped right now. The Go Fund Yourself will be airing soon. We are promoting the round actively. So we do encourage that you invest now. If you do invest by September 12th, which is next Thursday, you're also eligible to earn 20% bonus shares. So get in while you can. You can visit us at invest.golflync.com, and we will be sending out a recording of the webinar afterwards. So with that, thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your week, and see you on the links, or see you on the course.
Love it. Thanks, everyone.
Everyone.